What's good, people? BeatGenerals.com back with a tutorial, and today we're going to be going over just the very basic features of FL, just simple things you need to know before you get started. So let's go through a couple things. Obviously, this right here, this is your master volume switch. So let's say I just have a note in here, something in there, and this will control the master volume of the program. So you can turn it all the way down, make it higher as well. Then right over here you have the master pitch of the program, which will change the pitch of everything that you have in the piano roll. And if you ever want to get these to the default setting, you just want to right click and click reset. Same thing over here. Then right here is obviously your play button. This right here is your stop. You can control both of these by just hitting the space bar. And as you can tell, I'm in pattern mode right now, which means it'll just play the patterns right here, whatever's here. Now, if I want to switch it over to song mode, which means I already have a beat kind of laid out, so you'll have to have patterns in here for it to play anything. And as you can tell, the marker is here now, and it will actually play the song that you have laid out. Okay. Then right here is your record button. So that's what you hit when you actually want to record something with your MIDI controller, for example. Whatever. That's how you do that. This right here is your BPM tab for the session. You just left click and drag for this to move it wherever you want to move it. And then if you right click, you can tap the tempo. So this is good if you're trying to figure out, let's say, the BPMs of a song. You can just use your MIDI controller, tap along with it, and it'll actually figure out what BPM you're tapping at, and it'll adjust the session according to that. So let's just, for example, say that's 126 or whatever it may be. You do that, and then you have some presets right here, 160, 150, and then half speed. It'll just let's say I have it at 140. It'll play slower than 140. It'll play half of 140. And then this is 140 right here. And this right here is your pattern selector. You can go all the way up to 999 patterns in this. This right here allows you to use your actual computer keyboard as a controller, so you can actually play stuff on your keyboard using the letters and stuff. Right here, that's your metronome, so helps you keep time. If you right click it, you can change the sound to a hi-hat or a beep. I just keep mine at a tick usually. This is the countdown before recording, so if you hit record and let's say you want to record something, this will give you a countdown before it actually starts recording. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so just a quick little countdown. And then you have the wait over here, so if you hit record and actually hit play, it will not start recording anything until you actually play a note. So as you can see, I hit play, but it's not recording yet until I hit my first note, and then it'll start recording. Then you have the feature over here, which is to blend the recorded notes with existing data. So let's say I have this laid down over here, just one note, and now I want to play something over the top of it. If that's not selected, it'll delete this note and just keep whatever I played second. But as you can tell, it only kept one note actually. So, but if you had this enabled, now I can play different notes under this, and it'll keep them too. As you can see, so it picked up the other notes as well. Delete that. CTRL-X to delete stuff out of the patterns. Then right here you have your step editing mode. And each little block right here is called a step. So what step editing mode allows you to do is once you're in step editing mode, as you play your MIDI keyboard or your regular computer keyboard, it'll just fill in each step as you play. So let's say okay. I don't really use that often at all, so not sure if you guys need to get too familiar with that, but it is there. Then you have the loop mode. So let's say you're recording something. Once it gets to the end of the bar, it'll actually stop. So let's take a look at that. So as you can see, it stopped, it did not loop again. But if you select this right here, it'll loop it back to the front. This is for the time markers, just a scroll. So let's say I have a bunch of notes. And let's just make some out here. And now my window, I can only see these couple notes. What this will do is it'll scroll automatically for me to the other notes I can't see. Okay, and if you don't have that enabled, it will not scroll. So let's take a look at that. So as you can see, the time marker was out of the window, but it was not scrolling with it. And then you have this little feature over here, enable note / flip groups. And what this allows you to do is, let's say, for example, I have this right here. This is my pattern, and let's say I group those together. If you have this enabled, as you can see, they turn blue, which means if I delete one, they'll all be deleted. Or if I edit one, it'll edit them all for me. But if you turn that off, you can edit them individually. So, and then you have this over here. Now this comes in handy. It actually you're only going to be using it if you have a MIDI controller. So what you do is it allows you to link your different settings in your VST plugin to your MIDI controller. So let's say I want to link the volume to a knob on my MIDI controller. What I'll do is I'll select this, then I'll move the volume knob, and then move whatever slider or knob I want to assign it to on my MIDI controller. So as you can see, as I move the fader, it'll automatically move the volume knob for me. So pretty cool if you want to use different synth sounds and just you want to be able to control them with your MIDI controller. Then right here, this is your snap, aka your quantize. So you have a bunch of different little quantize settings. I usually keep mine at 1/4 of a beat or a half step, but it all depends on what you're comfortable with. That's just my personal preferences. Then you have a view playlist, opens your playlist for you. View step sequencer, hides or opens your step sequencer. View piano roll, opens up your piano roll. View browser, and then view your mixer. Now, if you can just pay attention to this right here, as I scroll over them, it'll show you the shortcut key you can use to pull those up without having to click. So, view playlist is F5, view step sequencer is F6, view piano roll is F7, view browser is F8, and view mixer is F9. So those are just some of your basics in FL. Hope you guys learned something, and let's move on to the next tutorials.